This presentation, you will learn about the media planning and buying case study, important for the TYBA MMC exam. Case study begins with creating of a media plan for a particular product or service in the price range of which will be given to you. Why is this important? Because it will help you decide your demographics and psychographics when planning your media plan. The schedule will last for 2 months, in other words, 8 weeks. The budget given to you is 3 crores. Important things to note: size. The magazine ad would be of a single or double spread, and the newspaper would be carrying a half page ad. The rate card will also be given to you for your reference. I'm sure most of you have already seen what it looks like in the question paper. So our header carries dailies, which simply means newspapers, readership in thousands, which means that the figure that is given, you need to add 3 zeros to it. Rate in centimeters, therefore rate is in square centimeters for newspapers. Our next vehicle is the magazine. Again, the readership is given in thousands and the rate is given for a full page colored ad. The first thing you do is figure out the demographics and psychographics of the target audience. Draw columns to solve the media plan. Your first column will be the vehicles, the second the CPM or CPT, which is your cost per thousand, size, half page for newspapers, single or double spread for magazines, number of insertions, amount, reasons for vehicle selection or non-selection. Begin by writing down the names of all the newspapers, followed by the magazines in column 1. Column 2 is the CPM or the CPT column. Calculate the CPT. The formula is cost of ad unit into 1000 upon readership. Once you have filled in the CPM, choose the most appropriate newspapers and magazines that are suitable for you to advertise the product or brand that is given to you. Decide the number of insertions for the medium selected. Now, this you have to use your common sense on how many times you want to put the ad as a media planner in a particular media vehicle, in a particular newspaper or a particular magazine. The idea behind this is that you need to spend the 3 crores in a successful manner so that you can reach the maximum target audience. Calculate the amount. Now, for newspapers, what you need to do is understand that the newspaper is given rate in square centimeters and you have a half page ad that you need to work with. Therefore, the rate that is given to you, multiply by 800 square centimeters, that is a half page size, will give you the amount, and you then further multiply that amount with the number of insertions to give you the final amount. For magazines, the rate is given as a full page, therefore you multiply straight away with the number of insertions. Finish calculating for both in such a way that you are able to reach the closest to or actually at 3 crores. Ideally, don't exceed the budget, but a 5% amount up or a 5% amount down is acceptable in the exam. After you've finished totaling, reaching your goal, which was 3 crores, give reasons for selecting or not selecting each newspaper and magazine, which simply means that every magazine and newspaper will have details of why you have selected or why you have not selected that particular vehicle. After you finish that, draw the newspaper schedule. In our question, we saw that the newspaper schedule, or rather the schedule of the campaign, was to months. Therefore, it was 8 weeks. Only the newspapers need to be entered week-wise depending on the number of insertions. For example, if you chose Times of India, you could add it in week 1, week 4, and week 8 as 3 insertions. Some important points to keep in mind when solving the case study. Demographic and psychographic profile of the product or service should match the demographic and psychographic profile of the newspaper or magazine. Select those newspapers or magazines whose readership is substantially more, because that ensures higher reach. Select those newspapers or magazines whose cost per thousand is comparatively less. Select those newspapers or magazines which give good combination rates. Select those newspapers or magazines which match the geographic selectivity. So if you have an urban product, avoid rural newspapers or the local editions. Do not select similar newspaper or magazines because then duplication will be high. Okay, so you need to plan properly. Do not select newspapers or magazines if the prestige of the product or service does not match with the prestige of the vehicle. I'm sure you have more or less gauged what is expected from the case study. So wishing each one of you all the very best. Do well in the exams.